welcome back to the ANS way. It's been a little while since we've done any of the videos like this, just the outdoor vlogs, and hopefully you've watched the update video that should be out prior to this, explaining why we're now looking at homes again. So we have decided to bring you out. We've already done, how many homes have we viewed up to this point? Six different home sites with different builders. We're not settled on one yet, but this is the one that best fits our budget, what we're trying to do at the moment, potential rental, right location,
as close as where we could be to the location we would want anyway. Perfect
timing for when our lease is up as well, and not cheap because it's expensive for here, but the cheapest of all of the options that we've looked at the moment. So what we thought we'd do is bring you to the area, show you our favorite home style here, and just let you walk through with us. We had a quick chat with the sales rep and we spoke to him last time we were here. He's actually really friendly and informative, and the people that we're doing our loan pre-approval just so happened to have been there just 2 minutes before we got there, so we could have actually met him, but we didn't. We missed him. So we're just about to go into the home now. I'll turn the camera around and show you the exterior. It's called the Mojave. Yeah, it's much smaller than a lot of the homes that we've been looking at, but you'll see from the layout they do a lot with the space. It's still a lot bigger than the UK.
Mojave Plan 6.
Mojave Plan 6. We briefly talked over the lots and how much the premiums are. So here you have to pay for the plot of land you're building on. So it's going to be between, I think, 20,000 and 70,000 approximately. Prices can change.
The size, the views that you get with that particular lot of land.
So let's show you the house.
So with this house, there's this side entrance, and with the different plan homes that they have, the layouts are very different. So one of the other houses they showed us, they had a courtyard, but this is a side entrance, which I personally really liked. Look at this.
You'll see that this is your entryway, and you can see how wide it is compared to a UK home.
Yeah.
So what you don't necessarily get in each of the rooms is massive rooms, but the whole place feels a lot wider, brighter, because they use up a lot of that 2,500 square foot in just making the home feel nice and big. Things to note when you come into US homes, everything is an upgrade. There's a really good guy that does videos on a lot of the homes called Check-Its, I think, and he wears a shirt that says that's an upgrade, because you look at this and it looks amazing, upgrade. The lighting, so you'll think, oh, that looks great here. It's going to be dark when you buy it, because this is an upgrade where they've had the electrician run the wiring. I think in this particular home, that's not an upgrade. It's really nice you get this with the windows. But quite often you'll find that the door and the windows are upgrades that you pay for after the fact.
So you have to be, and it's the first thing that I had to be really mindful of, that when you're coming here, obviously they really take their model home seriously. They're showing it to the best that they can, so you have to be in mind that it's not necessarily going to look that way unless you spec it or get those upgrades.
And as we go through the buying process, we'll take you along. What we're going to do now, we're going to have a look through the house, walk through, remind ourselves, and then we'll do a walkthrough with you and just explain what the rooms are like. Right, we've had a quick walkthrough and reminded ourselves of the home. We do still really like it.
Definitely.
It's got lots of quirks and features that I really like the side entrance. You can tell it's a lot smaller even than the home that we're in. It's probably 500 square foot and you can feel it, but we're not a large family, it's just us.
Yeah, and there is something more like homely about this, and more like a UK home than the typical I mean, two-story isn't the typical thing here anyway. It's becoming more popular, but they love their single-story homes.
So we'll walk you through, and we'll start. One of the things to note, and it's becoming more like this in the UK, where you have the large kitchen diner at the rear of the house, or in our case, the side of the house that backs onto the garden. But really notice here, you live at the back of the house in the US. So quite often when you're thinking about the views, you're like, oh, the front overlooks the mountains. That's no good. There's only usually one room. In this house, there's two, one on the ground and one on the first, or as they call it, first and second floor. So you really have to consider which plot you're buying, and it really needs the best views at the back of the home. So we'll start at the front and we'll talk you through.
Yeah, so when you come in, you're coming in at the side of the house, and then you've got left or right. So we're going to go right to the main bit of the house? Or do you
No, we'll go left. We'll go to the front.
Okay, so we'll go to the front of the house.
She wasn't listening, see? So this is a contained suite. So what you get here is, the door isn't on there now, but there'll be a door on there. It has storage over here, and then it has a contained bathroom. And the bathrooms, what's considered a 3/4 bathroom is a bathroom without a bath. So if it's got a shower, a water closet, toilet, and then a little cabinet, side cabinet, is considered a 3/4 bathroom, which is what this suite has.
Yeah.
And then a really good sized room. So quite often people talk about 12 by 12, seems to be roughly the standard, which is about 4 meters by 4 meters. I don't think this is a standard. I think this is a 12 by 10. So I think it's probably about 3.5 meters by 4 meters.
I would say 3 meters.
In the UK, you can pretty much get away with a 3 by 2.6 meter room as a double.
Lots of numbers here.
Yeah, but this is just to give you an idea. This is the smallest room, and it's considerably larger than what would be considered a double. You've then got a good couple of meters before you get to this wall, and a good meter and a half either side of the bed.
So we'll probably either use this as a spare bedroom for whenever family or friends can visit us ever again, and also maybe an office space for us.
And just to point out, in this bathroom, huge. For a suite bathroom, it's bigger than our ensuite in our house. Right, next room along is the downstairs toilet, which again, for some reason, is massive.
Definitely very big.
What's weird is the toilet sits in the main room, I would consider. In the UK, you tend to have the toilets under the stairs, so it's separated out, whereas the main room you can see is here, and the toilet is kind of there. So
which that's probably a feature I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's fine. But this is the main kind of, what they call the great room, I think they called it.
Yeah, some people call it a living room like we do, but often you'll see on their floor plans, they call it the great room. But that only means that part. So Selena said the great room, we walked to the kitchen, it's separated off.
I thought it wasn't that.
No.
I'm going to look at the plan now. Let's have a look. Ant knows better than me. Oh no, there isn't one. No,
I can get it up though.
No, it's fine. I trust you. Yeah. So I thought the great room was this bit here.
Maybe. Might be. Could be wrong.
So in this space, I'm not entirely sure what it's called. The main living space, you've got the kitchen, the dining area, and then your kind of like family room, but it's like an open planned living. And I really like that, mainly because you've got your garden, as we would call it in the UK, or your backyard space. So you can be in the kitchen area looking out in that view.
Mm-hmm. So some of the things I'm going to point out to you, this is where you really have to look past. Unlike the UK, which they do dressed homes, but they won't have hundreds of thousands of upgrades. Now, somebody that does this a lot did a video, and they said in this very house, there's about potentially $150,000 worth of upgrades. So when you're looking, this will be an upgrade. This is most definitely an upgrade. That will be an upgrade. This will be an upgrade. This surface will be an upgrade. They do offer, one of the good things with Woodside is you do get a choice of granite or quartz. Quartz is super popular, but it'll probably be a plain quartz. You're not going to have this finish to it. I think we were told this is standard, these cupboards, although they might not be because they're 42 inches and a 36 standard, but there's no soft close.
Yeah, it's a very weird thing here in the US that they're very far behind on stuff, and they're not. All new homes in the UK, when you go to new builders, generally have soft close as the normal thing. In fact, I don't think you can.
I've not seen them over there. We've been looking at, we've had multiple new builds. We bought our first in 2008, which didn't. And then everything after 2007 has been soft close.
So here you have to check. So I do a test on it.
And it's usually an upgrade yet again. This here is also an upgrade. So they do things in packages. So you get this double oven, which is very, very nice, digital. The upgraded hob and the upgraded microwave, I think is about this is an upgrade. I think it's an $8,000 package. Now, I love kitchens, so it's worth every penny to me. So I will be definitely taking whatever the highest end gourmet kitchen option they do. The other feature in the kitchen, you'll always get a waste disposal. Apparently this is a Voice IQ faucet. Yeah, I read it online. I have no idea what that actually means, but it's voice activated maybe. Your kitchen sinks can be an upgrade as well. Who knows what you get? And we learned recently, what's this, Sal?
For the dishwasher, it's the overflow.
Yeah, not something you ever see in the UK, but if the dishwasher overflows or needs to purge water, it purges it into the sink from above.
So if you have this facing that way, the water will go that way, so don't ever do that.
The other features in the kitchen, so often, and I don't know how this one comes yet, but things like this, I think this is probably standard, but you can option in additional cupboards up
or larger
up top.
Cupboards.
Usually doesn't come with the fridge freezer. I'm not sure if it does here, but again, that's usually an upgrade.
This is one of my favourite parts, pantries. It's something I've always wanted.
But what type of pantry is it?
I don't know. What type
it's a walk-in pantry.
A walk-in pantry. There you go. It's not one of the biggest pantries I've seen. Some of the other houses have these huge pantries, but this is large enough. And actually, you don't really need to be walking into a pantry that much. We've then got coat closet. Is that what you call it?
Jacket, coat.
And this would be to the garage, but we can't access it at the moment. And this is a double garage. And one of the things that we had said is one of the things is a triple garage ideally, because we're using it for workout, our bikes, and parking the car in the summer heat. We did want a triple garage.
So one of the things is we've been looking at homes in the 700,000s, and that's the base price of the home. So if you're looking at a 700,000 home, you can expect to pay for the lot premium and the upgrades approximately 850,000, and that won't be highly spec. You can get well up into the 1.4 millions from a 700,000. You can double the home. So we've been expecting to pay that. However, here it's 566,000. Lot premium is going to be anywhere from 20 to 70. So you might be at the 630, then your upgrade, you might be at the 700, 750 mark, depending on your upgrade. So where we're pointing out some of the things that aren't great, such as the no free car garage, not a massive pantry.
It's a different budget.
It's a massively different budget. We're saving 200,000. But we thought we'd throw that in. So the next part is where we are now.
Yeah, so we've come to the backyard space, and I really like it. So what is really good about Woodside is that they include the covered patio as part. So Ants keeps mentioning, I'm going to take the mask off because I don't like this thing on. Has mentioned that with houses, my mask has got stuck in my earring. Everything's an upgrade. The one thing that they've said about this is that the covered patio is actually included with the house price. Is that right?
Yeah, this one is included.
Which is great. And one thing about a home in Vegas, you 100% need a covered patio. And I've seen other videos where people have bought homes without the covered patio, and then afterwards have gone in to find and build it in. You need it because you generally cannot stay out in the sun without it.
This particular covered patio is extra special because it runs the entire length of the home. I'm 90% sure this is all included.
Yeah, sure.
If not, we'll build the second part. I'm fairly confident it is. So you get the entire length of your home. A couple of things to point out before we get to the outside is this door will be an upgrade. You will normally just get like this double door that's quite small. Now you obviously want as much, or we do as English people, you want as much lighting as possible. So whatever the upgrade cost is, probably going to be 5,000 to 8,000. We'll pay that. This, fortunately, Woodside include, they're called pavers. All of this along here is included. There will be upgrade options, but sometimes you only get just a bit outside the door and then you have to pay. The other thing, your lot will be literal dirt, and we'll show you when we put in some shots, literally just the dirt that they've dug out. You get 6 months to turn it into something.
You have to do it.
You have to do it. Now this is a really simplified version. Is actually, I really like this style. I wouldn't necessarily have it as big as that, but all they've gone for is artificial grass, some pebbles here, a couple of slabs, and then a fireplace. Now, looks really simple, but will probably still cost you a good 35 to 50,000 depending on the quality of the stuff. So that's another thing you have to factor in, because you have to, within 6 months, have built the backyard out. So factor that into the cost. So where we're saying 700, 750 plus 50 grand to do the back as well. These lots are actually quite small. They're only about 4,500 to 5,500. However, they've done quite a lot with the space, and because it's a 2-story, the footprint of the home is quite small because they're building up rather than out, which means you get a reasonable amount of space out the back.
Yeah, I personally really like the fact of how that living space is downstairs with your kitchen, your dining, living room area, the fact that you can open up those back doors into your backyard, have this huge covered patio area. And we, when it's not super hot here, do actually like to have our breakfast, our lunch, our dinner. We would choose to sit out. So for us, it's well worth it.
One of the things, or the final thing to point out here, just there is Red Rock Mountains. Now, these is a massive mountain range that runs from roughly about there all the way around. You can't see it because the privacy wall is too high. However, this particular property, you can see it from upstairs, which is quite nice. So we're trying to make sure that we get a good plot that at least lets us see the mountains from upstairs.
And we like that blend. We want everything, of course. We want that privacy of not feeling overlooked by other homes. We want to see the beautiful views of the mountains or the strip. So we're trying to have that blend without being completely exposed. So I think the privacy wall makes sense. It just ends up blocking the mountain.
Yeah, so we'll show you in a moment. There is an option upstairs of where you can have a single deck or a super deck, a double deck. So you have a deck off of 2 of the bedrooms, which do allow you to see above this wall here. So now in the living space, major upgrade here. So generally the lighting is an upgrade. And they've made it look really nice with, we call this weatherboard. I'm not sure what they call it here, but this you can't even buy from them, but it's obviously a really nice upgrade feature, so something we might consider after the fact. And one of the ways they've saved a bit of money here, they've got high efficiency AC units, but usually on a double-story house you get 2 AC units. They're only providing 1. Doesn't really make a massive difference to us. It just means I'm not sure you can get full temperature control up and down, whereas at the moment we can control them independently. There's a couple of people upstairs, so we'll wait for them and then we'll take you up.
I only found out today because I didn't understand this. In England, you get banisters, and you would assume that that's a normal thing that the house would come with, but apparently this is an upgrade, the banister. If you don't option this in, you end up just having this boring wall come up, which is definitely not something I would like.
So it's called pony wall. So what you get is just what you see here up the banister, up the stairs. The other really nice feature with this particular Woodside home is the width of the stairs is huge. It's probably 1.5 times the average older style home in the UK, because my parents' ones are tiny. And then probably just a little bit, maybe 10 or 20% more than our house in the UK, but it does make a noticeable difference. It feels really open, and it allows a lot of light to go in downstairs.
So as soon as you come up the stairs, you come into what they call a loft space, and I think you've heard me and Ant mention
bonus room, actually. Difference, yeah.
Oh, it's a bonus room. Okay, well there you go. I'm still getting used to all their different terms. I would consider this a loft space, but they're saying it's a bonus room. But we would intend to use this as an upstairs living area and maybe another kind of office area for Anne as well. One thing that Anne pointed out to me when we first came in here was all of these shelves. Again, this isn't going to be standard, they're upgrades or just something that you would have to option in.
Yeah. You're going to find that most of what you see is an upgrade here. So what makes this look really nice, and hopefully it comes across on camera, is they've done lots of different textures with the paints and colours. They've added in all of this. They've dressed the room, which you'd expect. None of this will come included. Even things, and not in this house, they haven't done it. They're selling in it, or they're showing it with the standard. So they call these baseboards. We call them skirting boards. So in the more expensive homes, and I'm sure you can do it here, this is a standard, but you can have 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch baseboards, and they can be a lot thicker. Now, you can tell this is standard because it looks pretty crappy. It's fine for us. I wouldn't pay for the upgrade. But apparently a lot of Americans really take their baseboards seriously.
So there you go. And another thing that is very different. So in the UK, generally the configuration of the home is the configuration of the home. And they're just, the upgrades you do are very simplistic in the sense of the types of worktop you might want in the kitchen, or whether you're doing tiling in the bathroom. So very cosmetic, I would say, upgrades. Here you can actually change the configuration of the home in the sense of adding rooms.
So they call them structural, which you have to agree up front, because they're going to change how it's structurally built on the ground, from the ground up. And then there's the cosmetic one. So in this particular, I don't know if it's this home type, but with this builder, for example, you have homes that are 3 to 5 bed, the same home, 3 to 5 bed. You have to tell them how many you want and the structure of it. And then it will have something like 2 to 4.5 bathrooms. Each builder is slightly different. So when I mentioned the 3/4 bath, not all builders do it. Some of it would consider it a half, but the people in the know tend to call half bathroom is a toilet, 3/4 is a toilet plus a shower, and a full bath is a shower, a toilet, and a bath, which will show it's very complex. And I've spent a lot more time, obviously Celine's working, so I spend a lot of time watching and looking up.
Which is why he knows the terminology better than me. Yeah. But on the note of the configuration, this bonus room area can be configured as another room upstairs, which means there's a wall that comes out, and obviously you would lose a lot of light. But if you did want another bedroom, you can configure it that way. I think
it's actually, in this particular case, it's converted into some sort of, I can't remember what they call, like a super room. That's not the term, where it's a self-contained suite that you might use as like we call them granny annexes or mother-in-law's suite, I think it's commonly known as. And that effectively becomes shut off from the rest of the house. Now it's slightly different here because a typical one will be on the ground floor and has its own entrance as well. Whereas this one, it's the same entrance because it's downstairs, but it's a unit that locks off.
But we have no intention of doing that. We like this open space. But just to explain that that's the kind of options that you get. So this is another one of the bedrooms that you have. Again, I would say very bigger. Nice size. Yeah, I would say this is big, definitely bigger.
So this is definitely a double. Yeah. The other one's bigger, isn't it?
But the width of the room is definitely larger. And I'm not sure if it will come across on the camera, but this is, so out there you can see the strip. And this is where you become really aware of where you pick your plot, and where we mentioned about those lot premiums and how much you pay. And we'll take you to the back in a moment. But because of the different views you can get, it will determine how much you pay for the lot. But also we're very wary, so we want to pick and see a very nice lot.
So the next bit is a walk-through bathroom. If you configure this home with the separate suite, you get 2 bathrooms back to back that don't cross over in this space. One for the suite and then one for the shared. In this particular case, the bathroom is shared for the bedroom we showed you, which would be bedroom 3 because the 4th is downstairs, the bonus room or loft, and the second bedroom. Personally, it's a feature I really like because I love this openness of being able to walk through both sides.
I agree, and they've got kind of like a Jack and Jill type bathroom. So if you have kids and they've got their 2 rooms, they can share that bathroom. And again, another really nice room. And this is the bit that I find really interesting. So Ant downstairs was mentioning about how when you're in the garden or the backyard, with this particular lot, you have that wall, so you don't see the mountain. But upstairs, you can see the view of the mountains, which I think is very beautiful. But you can also configure this room so that you have a covered deck. What do they call it? Not covered deck.
Yeah, it's a deck. It's not covered.
Yeah, so rather than having this window, you could be walking out onto a nice balcony area. Laundry room upstairs, which I think is very convenient. Not the best placement with the master bedroom, which we'll go to next, but I find it that usually you get dressed upstairs, that's where you have your clothes. So to me, it makes more sense than having to carry your clothes downstairs. So you've got your dedicated laundry room, loads of cupboard space.
Yes, this is not included.
Yeah, I was going to say.
This is an upgrade. This is an upgrade. You can additionally add a sink, which I think for us, there's no point us waiting. If it's a reasonable cost, $1,000.
We would definitely
get this with the sink, because we will genuinely use it, and you might as well make your life convenient. The parts that aren't upgrade, you'll get the pre-plumbing, which is there, and I think there's like a couple of outlets and the water, and then you'll put your washing dryer. The other thing you get in this room is your media cabinet. So one of the things that's really nice in these homes is they pre-run the cable. Now, I think you only get a couple, but if you're like us and you use a lot of media stuff, you can have them wire that through the house and have all your Cat 5 or Cat 6 now, Ethernet, which is internet cables, come out in each of the rooms.
This is the master bedroom. I personally really like it. It's one of my favourite master bedroom layouts of the homes that I could see, mainly because it has the option to have this balcony area, which I mentioned that you can upgrade and have along, so you could do this super one across the whole length of the house. But out here, you can sit out here, enjoy the views, and again, this is where your placement becomes really important, because if you're backing on, if we were backing that way, the view wouldn't be as nice as what you get here.
So I can just point out to you now, the dirt lot, I'll show it to you, looks like this, and I'll insert it. So that's how your house comes finished, which is very different to the UK, and then you're responsible for sorting it all out. The master bedroom is huge. It's bigger than any room we've ever had. To us, you could fit 3 beds in here. Even they've got what I think they call these California Kings or Queens. So it's very similar size to our Super King, which barely fit in our bedrooms in the UK.
I really like what they've done behind the bed as well, which I know is an upgrade.
That's an upgrade. But alongside that, you've got double bedside cabinets each side, plus additional space. So it's a really nice size room. Nowhere near as big as the room we have that we're renting at the moment, but it's so unnecessary.
So this is the lead up to the ensuite. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice is there is no door. And this is very, very, very normal here. For some reason, their ensuites, they don't put doors. So you would have to either see if you can put it as an option, or afterwards put what they call a barn door and you just slide it. But I think it's very, very strange personally. Toilet here. And then you've got the main bathroom here. So we've got the his and hers sinks, and then what they call a selfie.
Yeah, they're just for fun, I think. But I think it's the vanity powder area.
I really like that.
So before you go on, I'm pretty sure that is an upgrade.
Yeah.
The cabinets. This, I think, is an upgrade. The other thing that you need to know is this splashback will be an upgrade, because I think the standard one does not look like that. Also, the height of the splashback is an upgrade. All of that upgrades. This flooring, which is really nice, an upgrade.
And the other things that you can do with the bathroom is pick how you want this layout. So you can either have what they call a super shower with a bit that you can sit in. You can also, I think it switches round, so the shower can come here
and have a stand,
and then have a freestanding bath, and then that changes the layout of how the window is as well. So you can tell already, very, very different. If you want to do that at home in the UK, you would have to do it after you got your home. And then, always my favourite area, the walk-in wardrobe. Anne thinks, or said that this is...
I think so. I think it's
standard. This comes as standard. But in a lot of the homes that we've seen, especially if you go to a Toll Brothers home, their walk-in wardrobe will be on a next level. So, yeah, quite like that. Very nice size. And to finish off, cupboard space.
Laundry. Yeah.
Linen cupboard.
Linen, that's it.
Cupboard. And this is one of the things I really like about the US homes. They tend to make them
to be lived in by humans.
Storage in mind, practical, how you would want to live.
I think we've covered all the rooms, so that will be it for the tour. We might throw in some, oh, you've already seen them, throw in some clips of what this actual development looks like. If we do end up buying this and we go through the process, we'll try and take you. We've just been informed that there's 4 plots that are going to be pre-designed. Now that will mean they will come as they come. We're hoping not to get those. We want to design our own home, and we'll take you through that process. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. It's probably quite a long video, but it gives you a tour and a bit of an understanding of how you go about buying and building a home out here. And make sure you like, comment and subscribe.
Thanks for watching.